Hello YouTube, my name is Nick, and today I have a game of Domination on Fuel using the TAR, which is a pretty awesome gun. And I was looking at some tweets from 402 about Modern Warfare 3, and I thought I'd share some interesting ones with you guys. First he said, there's absolutely not any last stand or second chance perks in MW3 multiplayer. And I'm pretty good with that. I don't like those perks, and I'm glad that they're gone. There is still death streaks, and that's kind of annoying, specifically Martyrdom and Final Stand, but I guess I can live with that. You know, if I have to deal with something, I guess those aren't the worst things to deal with. He also said CoD4 style MP5 and G36 make a return, and both of these guns were really awesome in CoD4, and I'm glad to see them come back. In multiplayer, it's all about you and your gun, plus explosives have been lowered in damage and new anti-explosive equipment added. Apparently there's some equipment you can get that shoots explosives before they come kill you, so that's kind of cool. And you know, weaker explosives plus you know, no danger close and no one-man army makes this game sound a lot more fun. The AC-130 works very differently in different modes. Not entirely sure what this means, but I am glad that the AC-130 is back. It will run at a full 60 frames per second and above on all platforms. We never sacrifice frame rate, it's key to our multiplayer experience. I definitely agree with this one. Games with 30 frames per second don't look nearly as good. Call of Duty is a very smooth game, you know, very fast paced, and it's very responsive. And I think that has a lot to do with it being 60 frames per second, so the fact that they're bringing that back is good. Not really surprising, but it's reassuring that, you know, they're not going to screw too many things up at least. This next one I feel is very important and very much agree with. We're not a simulation military game, we're focused on fun and gameplay first and authenticity second. You know, a lot of people complain like, oh, snipers shouldn't get hit markers. Well, if snipers never get hit markers, then they're a little bit overpowered. You know, in CoD4, you have snipers that never get hit markers, and snipers are more scary than people with SMGs close range because, you know, it's so easy to quickscope and you never get hit markers. You get killed by snipers quite a bit in that game. A little bit overdone there. There is no stopping power perk in MW3. More gun damage overall and less explosive damage overall. This is kind of interesting. They took away stopping power like Black Ops did, but they're going to have more gun damage overall. They also mentioned that their weapons are going to be more based off what they were in Call of Duty 4. If you didn't know, Call of Duty is based off a 100 health system, and most weapons kill in either 2 or 3 bullets, and snipers in usually 1 bullet. Most guns do 40 damage to 30 damage, and the way this works is guns have a minimum damage and a maximum damage. The maximum damage is the damage that they do close range, and this slowly decreases after a certain distance until it reaches its minimum damage, which is the damage it will always do, the minimum damage it will do. So take, for example, in Call of Duty 4 you have the M4. It has a maximum damage of 30 and a minimum damage of 20. So if you think about 3 bullets would be 90 damage, so you're saying, well, that's not a 3 bullet kill because, you know, they'd still have 10 health left. But stopping power adds 40% damage, so with stopping power your gun would do 42 damage per bullet, meaning that you'd kill somebody in 3 bullets. Now for MW3, they're not going to have stopping power, they're going to make it so that guns do more damage. So what I'm assuming they'll do is they'll just make it so pretty much guns do the damage they would do if they had stopping power. So for example, something like the AK-47 that usually has a max damage of 30 and a max damage of 40 and a minimum damage of 30 would then have a maximum damage of 56 and a minimum damage of 42, meaning that close range it would kill in 2 bullets, in long range it would kill in 3 bullets without stopping power, which is essentially the same thing it would do with stopping power in Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 4. So since they said that they're going to try and make the game more like it was in Call of Duty 4 and make guns do more damage without stopping power, I'm assuming that they're just going to have a sort of a passive stopping power perk that works all the time no matter what perks you use. I was also looking at the list of weapons that they're going to be having in MW3, and there's quite a few guns that I'm really excited to use, and I'm really glad that they're including in the game. For assault rifles, they have the M4, the M16, SCAR L, CM901, G36C, ACR, MK14, AK47, and the FAD, which looks like an F2000, and will probably be there for the lulz gun. That's really bad, but you use just because, you know, it's funny. But that's just a guess. It could be really good. I haven't played with it. I'm not sure if people got to use it in Call of Duty XP or not, but I'm assuming from the look of it, it looks like the F2000, and that's just a complete assumption on my part. For SMGs, they have the MP5, the UMP. I know, the UMP. Now, okay, just let me say something about the UMP. The reason it was so good in people's eyes was because its minimum damage was 35, and no other gun had a minimum damage of 35. And pretty much what this means is, if somebody has 100 health, 3 bullets is going to do 105 damage, which pretty much means that even without stopping power, you're going to be getting a 3-bullet kill at any distance with an SMG, and that pretty much does more damage than an assault rifle at a distance without stopping power. But what you have to keep in mind is that it had a fairly slow fire rate, and its recoil, while it wasn't that high, it was high enough that it was difficult to use at a distance, much harder than an assault rifle. Personally, I'm not very good with the UMP. I'd much rather have an assault rifle, but I can see how it's considered to be a bit overpowered, but still not as prevalent an issue as things like noob tubes or painkiller, because those are ridiculous. What other SMGs are there? There's the PP90, the P90, the PM9, and the MP7, which looks like the MP5K from MW2. For LMGs, they have the L86, the MG36, the PKP, MK14, and the M60. I really don't care about LMGs at all. Never really been something I've been too interested in. You just move too slow and aim too slow with them. It's just not as fun. And that's a nuke with my tower on fuel. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more. Check the description if you'd like to see a list of these guns, and let me know which gun you're looking forward to using the most in MW3. Personally, I'm really excited to be using the G36. I really like that gun in CoD4. Also the AK-47. I'm hoping they make that a little bit better than it was in MW2. But yeah, so let me know what you're excited to use, and I'll see